in the last video, if you guys haven't seen it, go and check it out, the last video, and I'm just gonna break that down because I did a whole bunch of stuff in such a short period of time. I did it in about like 7-8 minutes. I found the winning niche, I found the keywords I want to go after, I found the awesome city. How did I do that in such a short period of time? And in this video, I'm gonna break that down. So firstly, what I did is I picked any random niche from the PDF. Now, keep in mind that if you go, when it says surgeons over here, I don't mean go after straight up the keyword surgeons. I mean go after any type of surgeons that are out there. There's literally hundreds of different types of surgeons. So let's just find one right now. Different types of surgeons. Okay, there's thoracic surgery. I don't even know what the thoracic is. Okay, there's neurologic surgery, gynecology. Okay, that looks, I don't even know what that is, but we're gonna go after that. Okay, and I'm just gonna Google that. Okay, now what we actually want to do is, so let's just say we got this, we picked a niche. Now when we pick it, we have to look at the competition, we have to see if the market is there, and before we move on and do anything else. So that's why the week one is really important, to try out and test out and look at different industries and see which one you want to go after. If you want to go after them one by one, that's great. If you want to go after 4, 5, 6 ones at a time, that's even better. But what I did right now is I picked a niche. I did a little bit of research to it, and by a little bit of research, I mean I straight up just Googled it. Different types of surgeons. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of different types of surgeons out there. You Google it, you pick a random one, and you test it. Now, you can also pick anything else in this industry right now. Roof repair, auto sales, medical lawsuits. That's huge. Not a lot of people are going after specific type of lawsuit, like divorce attorneys. There's specific types of divorce attorneys you can go after. There's luxury car rentals, exotic car rentals. These are the types of niches that you want to go after, and it does require a little bit of research. And it's not even research, you're just Googling stuff. Match some buttons into a keyboard and find a winning niche. And that's literally what I just did. Now I want to find out if this is winning or not. So let's just say I can't even pronounce this, right? I want to find out if I can get a ranking website in Toronto. So I'm going to Google this, Toronto. Okay. Well, I'm going to type in clinic afterwards because I think that's the type of surgery that they're doing. But I'm going to do clinic. Okay, well, it seems that there isn't a certain clinic that does this, since it's like a hospital sort of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick a different niche. The reason I'm picking a different niche because there isn't private clinics that do this. It's governed by the government. The government owns the hospitals. The hospitals are doing this, so there's no point in doing a rank event for this. But for example, dentist, right? Dentist clinic. There's always private clinics that would die for this stuff, but dentist is pretty competitive. So let's look at any. Let's check out. I'm just picking random ones. This isn't rehearsed or anything. I want to give you the most ultimate value. So let's just look at wedding planners, wedding event planners. Wedding event planners in any city or state. I'm just going to do Toronto because this is where I am. So I'm going to do it in wedding event planners in Toronto. Okay, now there's 2.6 million people that are going after it. And the way I see is how many SEOs. I want to know how many SEOs are going after this keyword. The same exact keyword that I'm going for. I want to see how many SEOs are going after it. So I want to check, I want to do the all-in URL quotation mark that I showed you in the last video. This is going to show us every single website that has this exact match keyword in their URL. So that means they're optimizing for it. Okay, so I just Googled this and there's only one person who's going after the same exact keyword that I am. And it's not even a company. what you want to be looking out for is other rank and rent sites or other SEOs doing lead gen sites and stuff like that. When that's up, you don't want to mess with that. You don't want competition, because why would you? Like, it's rank and rent's such a broad and easy topic. Just pick a different city or pick a different state and you're good to go. So I'm going to remove the quotes. And this, when you remove the quotes, it shows a different combination of these keywords. So Toronto can be in the beginning or whatever. And it shows 9, which is still very low. If it's below 1,000, you're good to go. So I know that this is gonna work, but Toronto is not the only city I want to go after. I'm gonna create hundreds and hundreds of pages. So I'm also gonna pick a different suburb. Now the suburb I'm gonna choose, like Richmond Hill, for example. There you go. It's only gonna show 1. So this is a very, very easy keyword or niche to go after. But we're not done yet. I want to check out who is actually ranking for this. If it's local businesses, that's fine. But if it's big sites, you can't compete with that. So let's look at what we have here. We have Yellow Pages, Wedding Wire, all these sites. They're pretty big sites. There's only 1 or 2. Yeah, there's 3 at the bottom that are actual companies. The rest of them are like Yellow Pages, there's actual wedding directories, and it's going to be pretty hard to go after them. So you want to go after a keyword or a niche that only shows local businesses, like this one over here. This is a personal private company that's doing this, so it's going to be very easy to beat them. But if it's like some high domain authority site like Yellow Pages, you do not want to mess with that. You can easily rank for it, but it's going to take you longer than other keywords. So take another 5-10 minutes, find and choose a different. Now, what I've also found out to work best is to add the word luxury in front of everything. If you're doing luxury, like if you're doing pool design, just put luxury in front of it, so it becomes luxury pool design. And when you do that, is some people are actually looking for luxury services. They're willing to pay more for luxury services, and that's why it's gonna get, but very little people do that, so that's why it gets a very low search volume, right? So what I want to do is add luxury in the beginning of this. So luxury wedding event planners in Richmond Hill. So that's super long tail, right? That's super long tail. But as we get here, look, there's more individual people. There's more people that are actual private companies ranking for this. There's only a couple, there's only a couple high domain authority sites which you can easily beat if the majority is private sites. The majority of page 1 right now is private sites being run by individual companies. And having even seen this, you don't need to look at any metrics. You don't need to look at the amount of backlinks they have. You don't have to get crazy with this. You just have to look at it and figure it out like I'm doing right now. It's very, very simple to do. So there's multiple criteria, and I'm gonna write it down here for you. So here we go. There's gonna be 3 things you want to do. You want to check out the all-in URL, right, with the quotes. And that amount of search results should be below 1,000 or around 1,000. If it's like 1,100, 1,200, you're good to go. When you do the all-in URL with the quotes, it should be anywhere around 1,000, right? So that's your first check mark. Second check mark, you have to look at the search results and see if majority of the pages must be private companies, must be individual people and their individual sites, like we have over here. Now, in the middle of it, there is going to be some other companies like Event Source or whatever, but you can easily overrank them because these private companies have, and they're not optimizing their SEO very well. So that's the second checkpoint. And the third checkpoint, this is pretty optional. I mean, the example I showed in the last video did not follow this, but this is pretty optional. That makes it super easy to rank for, and that is having 1 million search results or below. And if we look at the total amount of search results over here, there's below 1 million, so that means like you're good to go. If you want to get more in depth on this, I wouldn't really recommend it. If it doesn't really follow these 3 categories, you're gonna have a tough time ranking for rank and rent, right? So easily just rank, it's like a check mark. Check all these and you can rank for it.